Welcome to another episode of RIA Collective. I'm your host, Charlie Van Derven. I have what might be the most interesting guest I've had on this. And Jon, when I introduce you and tell people why, I hope it doesn't make the podcast seem boring, but you got a great freaking story, man. I'm excited to share and be able to get it out there a little bit. Today, I'm joined by Jon Henderson. Jon is legacy Merrill Lynch, started his RIA Echo 45 in Walnut Creek, California, about 6 years ago. I think I got that. And then recently had some additions to that and added a tax and estate arm of Echo 45. So we're going to get into not only Jon's transition story, but the flexibility that being an RIA creates and adding that business to it. And then I'm not going to announce it, but I'm going to let you do it, Jon. He's got some big news of big changes in life coming up. Anyway, Jon Henderson, thank you so much for being my guest today on RIA Collective. It was awesome to meet you last week, dude. You've got a cool story, and I couldn't be more excited to share it, to broadcast it a little bit.
Thank you so much, Charlie. It was a wonderful introduction. Thank you for that very much.
Yeah.
Great to be here.
Yeah, God. So let's start with financial life, and
Yeah.
then we'll dive into the exciting news. Your financial life is an exciting news also, Jon. But so Merrill Lynch for 20 years, man. So it seems like that would be a happy home. And so 20 years into your career as a financial advisor, what prompts the change?
It was. I started at Merrill Lynch back in the year 2000 when stocks were still traded in fractions. I'm old enough to make that claim.
Yeah.
But basically, yeah, I wanted to start at the best firm on the street, and I think I did. And then, of course, we all know that 2008, housing collapsed, all the banks came in, took over a lot of the large investment houses, and really the push toward financial planning went away. As far as really, the world was a chaotic place at that time, but really the banks weren't really focused on financial planning. I think they saw it more as a risk and not really their core focus. To me, it was a long evolution of that, about a 10-year evolution of working as the bank kind of took over and the culture changed over time.
Yeah.
But to me, two main things. Number one, once it became clear to me that I needed to work as a fiduciary for my clients, and the clear difference, a lot of clients were asking, are you a fiduciary? And that the public was getting more knowledgeable around that. And I was not able to say yes. No, I'm held to a suitability standard. That was one of the main reasons I wanted to go RIA. Second thing, we couldn't even talk about Bitcoin. At the time, I couldn't opine as to its worthiness as an investment, which I felt clients needed more than that. Even if they weren't going to buy it or touch the investment itself, they deserve some education. And then, yeah, really going independent, which is the theme we'll get into later. But that was it. Not having somebody else telling me how to run the business or what I could work on with clients or what I could get into. And it's been the best decision of my life, going independent back about 6 years ago, like you said.
I think, Jon, we might have 60 or 65 episodes recorded now. And if you listen to them, probably 40 people say that. I wish I'd have done this sooner. So that time of my life, 2008, two fun stories. One not so fun. I bought a house in South Lake Tahoe in 2007. You know how that turned out.
Oh, yeah.
But also, I was working for another company at the time. We always went to this private client event in New York, and it was a big deal, right? We were doing large enterprise website programs for wirehouses, and we never worked with Merrill, though a lot of people Merrill know my name because I called every one of them. But it was a SIFMA, Securities Industry Financial Market Association, SIFMA private client event. And so I'm watching in 2008 at this event, the head of marketing at Merrill get up and give their what was scheduled for an hour keynote would be expired in 20 minutes, and they'd walk off the stage and find out that they'd just been acquired by Bank of America. And so I don't know what firms exactly, but I think Morgan Stanley and Smith Barney had their merger at that time. Merrill, Bank of America, Wells, Wachovia. It all happened in that week as the crisis hit with housing. It was an interesting place to be a fly on the wall. And just in that whatever moment, I was in the room for a lot of that stuff, watching it go down. So that was an interesting time in our industry. And in my life, a guy who had overpaid on a house in South Lake Tahoe. Let's talk about, Jon, I want to learn, the spirit of what we're trying to do here at RIA Collective is to help advisors who find themselves in an environment, maybe like Merrill, that doesn't have the flexibility to talk about crypto or the fiduciary, is really to bring them some advice and maybe just some confidence to hear from people who have made that transition before. So you make the transition to Echo 45 6 years ago. Talk about the tax and estate addition to that. Like, how did that happen? What prompted that change in your existing business?
Sure. Yeah. Sadly, a lot of clients just keep losing their CPAs. It was just something that kept happening over and over, really ramped up over during COVID, I think, is when it really just ramped up. And we were trying to vet CPAs for clients. And then the CPAs were saying, we're not taking anybody anymore. We're full. So it was a lot of work we were doing trying to get people into the hands of somebody to help them do this thing that I see AI doing for everybody in the next 5 years. And so we're a little early on that. But to me, the risk of, do I really want to get into a tax business? That sounds like a lot of work. And you start to think, well, actually, bookkeeping and these kinds of things are probably going to be revolutionized by AI. And running a firm that can ride that wave is probably not a terrible idea. So we launched that last year, Echo 45 Tax and Estate. And on the estate side, we're working with an amazing firm. I'm not sure if you know the guys over at Encore Estate, but basically,
I don't.
we
Yeah.
can be the face of everything to the clients. They're already comfortable working with us. We're already, as a certified financial planner, I keep an asset map on every single client. So we pull that up and we talk about their estate plan, which assets are not in the trust, what the trust might do for them. So we do a lot of that prep work anyway, but then you need the attorney to actually draft the legal documents.
Sure.
So a lot of times I was doing these tee-up meetings with attorneys, taking up the asset map, saying, here's the house, here's the taxable account, and would you agree these should go into the trust? They go, yeah. And then they draft the trust, charge them $5,000. And I'd go, oh, okay. So we work with Encore Estate. We cut that price in half. When we have a mobile notary goes out to their house, they give us the information with the team they're already comfortable working with. We then translate that information over to Encore Estate. The attorneys do their work. If they have more questions, they come back, and we're just the communication wing, if you will, so the clients don't have to go out and get referred to somebody who then, in a lot of cases, they would pay these attorneys. They would never get it done still. Another year would go by, and I'd say, where's the trust? They go, oh, we still owe them some paperwork.
Oh, wow.
Like, they're never going to call you and ask for that paperwork. You already paid them.
Right. Yeah, they already got paid. Exactly.
So as the financial advisor, every time we do a quarterly review, it's going to irk me that the house isn't done and in the trust. I'm going to keep bugging them to do it. So now we actually can just implement. We can actually say, you want to get the trust done? We got this team. They're going to draft it for you. They do it. And most clients are looking to avoid probate. They're just looking to get the house in there. But they can even assist with supplemental needs trusts and additional things now. But
Yeah.
we have a lot of estate planning attorneys that we can refer out to where a client needs an estate planning attorney. But if they just need a set of documents, we can definitely help them out with that, about half the cost with a much better experience now.
Awesome. Sounds just recognizing opportunity, right?
Oh yeah, just the need, right? Like if is there any way we can in-house this? So I did set up a separate company. So we have clients that if they come on as a tax client, they just sign a data sharing agreement. And then the beautiful thing is that as things come up on their accounts that we manage, corrected 1099s used to stress people out. Now they don't even see them. They don't have to worry about it. Oh, we already got it. Already updated the return. I'm growing the tax side. I'm adding CPAs to that. And then the CPAs in a lot of cases won't even just talk to the clients again. They're working with the same concierge team. They're comfortable with our portal. Now they just upload their W-2 and a couple of the documents. We're not going to send them this impersonal letter. Who are you and what do your taxes look like? No, we know where you work. We know you switched jobs last year. So we know the 2 W-2s we need. And we know that we need this. We ask for 5 documents from most clients and then get it done.
Easy, man. Easy.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And obviously flexibility that doesn't exist at a large firm.
Huge. And then for me too, that's how we grow, right? Because the clients they need tax help, right? And they're coming to you with this almost like panic. I need help with this. Try and get that same level of panic with someone's investments, right? It just doesn't exist. And someone's like, oh no, that's easy. You know what I mean? And they always kind of look at you like you're trying to sell them something if you're trying to work with them on the investment side. So that's where we started the business, right? It was all performance based. I'm going to be the best investor. I'm going to give you something. I started before the internet, right? Literally, there was no way that people had to call me to get a quote for a stock.
Right.
That was my job. So my value proposition has had to evolve substantially over the years. So this is the next evolution. People are going to want one place. They want one financial team that understands everything from their estate planning to their investments to their children's needs, all of those things in one place. And then they don't have to get referred all over town. We already have the documents. So to me, it was just a logical way to do that, like a family office for the mass affluent, if you will. But yeah, that's probably the biggest new thing we added. It was a huge addition for the clients. It's been a very positive thing. I didn't want to mess it up, so we overstaffed it a little bit last year, and I learned a lot of what worked and what didn't work on the tax side. But Encore Estate's been amazing. Anybody out there that's already on their own on the RIA side that's not working with those guys, I'd suggest you give them a call.
Yeah, very cool. And we'll do this offline, but I'd love an intro because we'll host them on a webinar or something along those lines just to get them in front of my network of RAs that I know. Very cool. Let's shift a little bit because while that's the biggest news of the business recently, what's the biggest news of your personal life, Jon?
I'll just go right out where I'm running for governor.
Man.
Yeah, I'm running for governor of California. So yeah. Something a lot of my clients already know because I've explained it to them personally, but I started writing a book basically on July 5th. There was the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. And when I grew up, Republicans and Democrats alike hated that they didn't have the line item veto. That's how far we've gone. So now we've gone from worrying about the line item veto to an 870-page omnibus bill with 100 pages of tax changes. And my clients were just full of head trash. They all, like, from the no tax on tips to the no tax on overtime, really getting into what that affects to them, the phase outs, and how, what actually are there benefits to clients. In a lot of cases, there was not. And to me, when clients come to me with bad information, where'd you hear this? Oh, from the government. Oh no. To me, it's something needs to change. So I started writing this book. I didn't really know what the book was. And as it came out of me, it's 22 chapters of ways we can improve the state. And I have got about 200 clients, right? About 100 vote Republican, 100 vote Democrat. And if I had a barbecue, they would all love each other, right? They would all get along. There'd be no issues. But at home, they're thinking that some group of others is very different than them, is ruining this country. And it's like a psyop. Everyone's been lied to and pitted against each other. And I just feel like everyone wants to tone it down. They want to get away from the extremes, get away from just the negative rhetoric, really. And so I just feel like I'm running as an independent. It's like I said earlier, going independent was really the only way that I didn't have a boss anymore. The only way I could have the clients be the boss was for me to be independent. So I feel like that's the same thing for our elected officials. So I want to bring a fiduciary standard into our elected officials. I would put my money into a blind trust. I would require all Californian elected officials to put their money into blind trust, because if they're not going to drain the swamp, we can at least starve it.
Yeah, there's a lot that we could talk about there, and I've got the book in my inbox.
All right.
And I've got a little bit of time on Monday, so we'll spend time on it. Yeah.
And yours is pre-publication. It's expected to release about February 26th right now, and an audio book will be coming out along with the hard copy at the same time.
And John's got a great voice. I already know that his voice is behind the audiobook too.
Not as good as yours, but
listen, man, I don't know. I got a few good things going for me. Hair and voice, I think, are probably
the mustache too.
Yeah, mustache too. That was hope, man. I don't know how that now it's stuck. I can never shave again.
I got to digress. I grew it out for my wife, and she loved it. Okay, but I can't do it because my dad was a cop and he wore the mustache his whole life, and you can't be like your dad sort of thing. What the aversion is, but I didn't. I was shocked. My wife loved it and wanted me to keep it. So I was like,
dude, that's how this stuck. Like literally, we had a younger employee. I'm in my 50s. He was in his 20s, 28, 29, and he challenged me to a beard growing contest, and I was like, I'm in. I can't grow a beard, but so 10 or 11 weeks in, I'm like, Logan, you win, dude. I'm shaving. And of course, you have fun with it. Shave the big chops and shave the tea. And I got to approximately this, and my wife Carmen was like, "Wait a second, I think we're onto something."
She's like, "That's good, yeah."
So, dude, they went out and built a logo. Went and got 100 stickers printed, made some T-shirts, and now
you're stuck with it.
Now I can never shave again.
Yep, I saw the logo. I was like, "That's genius." But yeah, now you're stuck with it.
Secretly, John, I kind of like it too.
Okay,
yeah, differentiator, if you will. I love pulling the fiduciary out of financial services and into elected officials. And I say this a lot on the show, dude. Financial advisors are the fourth least trusted profession in the United States. Number one, with I don't think any surprise, is elected officials. So
I'm trying to move from number 4 to number 1, baby.
No, but you're trying to change it, dude. I think
I'm trying to change. Well, you shouldn't trust politicians. That shouldn't be the bar. You know what I mean? Yep. We should just say, no, we don't care if we trust them or not. The system shouldn't allow for it. Get rid of the. There's so many conflicts of interest we could remove if the political will was there to do it, but just common sense. So I want to run on bringing term limits in. I want to be the guy to bring in the stuff that's not fun for the people that are currently grifting. But if those are the people that don't like it and 80% of the people want it, it should be easy to win an election. But will anyone even know or hear of it? So thank you for helping me platform this. But that's going to be the biggest hurdle in a state with 40 million people is just being heard and getting it out there. So I will be loud. I will thank you. I appreciate you, and I want to get on do as many of these as I can, basically in the next 3 months, and we'll see if we can get a grassroots movement going.
Yeah, and like I told you on our Get Acquainted call, dude, I'd love to be involved in some way. So I was looking at running for local office, and so the local chamber, which I was on the board of, put me through 8 hours of how to get elected, essentially.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And as a marketer, all the canned spam laws for email and stuff, that stuff doesn't apply to you as in running for office, right? So if you're registered, you get your registered voter rolls, and you got to be tactful, of course, but you can fill those inboxes and you can. So anyway, I would love to transfer some of that knowledge to you or your buddy who's running the campaign for you.
Thank you very much. And the website is under construction. It's coming out here in a couple weeks, and then it will be all official. I'm currently gathering my required signatures. We have a signature in lieu period that we've got about another couple of months here. So I'll be hitting the ground and doing sitting in
Yeah.
front of some shopping centers in the
Yeah,
coming months, meeting some
exactly.
people, knocking on doors.
Yeah,
But yeah,
exactly.
I'll be doing it, hitting the ground running.
I love it, John. I'm excited to follow the story and wherever you need it, be a part of it. Hey, before we wrap here, I want to get a couple pieces of information from you just based on that transition, right? Because
Sure.
our mission, based on that trust conversation we had, our mission is to grease the skids if we can to get more people into that RIA channel where there is that true client advisor relationship and hopefully quell some of those trust issues that the industry faces. So, John, offering advice to people who are thinking of a similar move that you made 6 years ago, what's something that you did, whether you knew it at the time or not, but something you did that was like a really good move setting you up for success with your RIA?
I worked with a guy named Ryan Shanks, who's not really doing this kind of job anymore. I think he's shifted
Yeah.
his role, but at the time he described himself as a Sherpa for financial advisors going independent, if you will. And
Yeah.
he basically set up meetings for me with a large established RIA so I could go and see if I didn't want to build anything and just go work for someone who's done all this and be on the
Yeah.
independent side, what that would feel like. And I looked at it and was like, nope. And then I went, and then it was like pseudo, like in between. There's a number of different companies out there, and I talked to a few of them as well, and I won't name the ones specifically, but hybrid type things where basically you can
Sure.
have your own name of your company doing business as, but really you're under their corporate RIA. And it's still,
Sure.
again, that was a boss to me. You know what I mean? That was
Yeah.
somebody else calling the shots. And for me, if I was going to take that risk, and this is just me, I don't have a problem shooting for the moon. So I'm not like everybody. A lot of people are not going to be as like gung ho about being able to control everything and being
Yeah.
so comfortable. I had a fairly decent book too to transfer that was going to pay for this. We
Yeah.
did launch the firm the day COVID started. I don't know, we didn't mention that earlier.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, February 21st of 2020. So that was the
Wow.
day that I had 5 employees, rent, and all of that started the day that the market was down 17% in the first week, 37% in the first 3 months we existed. So I've been through the worst of possible outcomes of things, and we're fine. You just keep your head down, you keep working,
Yeah.
and you keep your eye on the goal. But everybody was transferring their book over during that first 3 months. And so it was like my future self looked at the graph and was like, go right there. It's going to hurt, but go right there. And everyone is transferring over. Then the market pretty much has only gone up since, obviously 2022 aside, as everyone's done very well. And so as far as a firm goes and our performance goes, it couldn't have been better as far as like when everybody did transfer over.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been that I would say go out there and look at all those things. That would be my advice to anybody who's maybe worried because it's the unknown that's giving you panic.
Sure.
And so the more you can master that and get your head around that, but I would go look at a very large established RA, look at it like a pseudo sort of, we'll set up the back end shop and then you can be the front of it kind of thing. And then fully independent like what we did. And I couldn't be happier doing what we did, but it is a ton of work. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
You got to set up everything like it's, and if you're at like a place where you got Mother Merrill or something like that, and you're really comfortable doing that, you might want to look at one of the other two, and you may be much more comfortable in that. But I think I want you to look at those three options, but get on that side. This is the better side of the business to be on. This is where all the growth is going to be coming from. The savvy clients are going to want to work with a fiduciary.
Yeah. Agreed. All right. So here's the flip side of that question. Was there anything that, and timing aside, maybe,
Oh yeah,
because that's
don't launch the day COVID
yeah,
started.
yeah, don't launch it. Yeah, but timing aside, was there anything that you look back on and you think, gosh, I wish I'd have done this a little differently?
Oh, so many things. The big one, though, I think, the big one, though, I'll tell you, was that I had in-house compliance. Okay, so I was hiring a full-time individual person
Yeah,
whose
wow.
whole job was compliance. And
Yeah,
as a firm with the revenues that we had, the size that we were, that was
yeah,
not the right way to go. And
yeah,
honestly, I don't know at the time if this really existed, but what we do now, this is the best change I've made years ago. We work with a firm called Advisor Lawyer, and they're a team, because I was paying this individual person to talk to an attorney and paying hourly attorney fees. I was like, something's wrong here. So now I pay like the subscription fee. Here's how much we
cool.
pay you. They have an attorney on the team.
Yeah,
It's not like hourly for this edition. You have to be a certain size, obviously, to be able to afford that. But outsourcing compliance was probably one of the best decisions that I made, and it's just allowed us to just completely take that off them. And you might love doing compliance, right? If you find out what burns you out as a
yeah,
business owner. But for me, the idea of sitting with the SEC for 2 days doing an audit, I was like, no, somebody else can do that.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Yeah, and I think as this channel continues to evolve, there's more and more services like that, right? So we've made a very conscious effort last year to go fractional CMO,
Yeah.
which we're rebranding now fractional CG, growth officer, just because there's a lot more components to growth than the marketing side of it. But yeah, I think and we'll do a webinar probably in May with a fractional CIO and then a fractional operating officer as well.
Yeah, so
So
there
it's
you go.
just,
So outsource what burns you
yeah,
out is I'd
yeah,
probably the one liner there
yeah.
is, yeah, and think about that as you're starting to as you dream your perfect business and just build that. You know? Yeah.
Awesome. Dude, we could talk forever.
I love
So
this, man.
I got one last question for you, John. If we've
Yeah.
got anybody listening to the podcast that has an interest in making the move, they resonate with you, would like some input on it, are you cool being a resource?
100%.
Awesome.
100%. I love giving back to this community. I love talking to anybody who's going through what I went through that I could actually help them
Yeah.
and be their Sherpa. So absolutely 100%.
Yeah. And then you get a chance to meet the future governor of California.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. And I
Yeah.
can get a
Yeah.
signature from him. Yeah, I'm building my
Yeah, there
signature.
you go. I suppose I have to live in California to be able to sign that. If we'd have known
You
each other
do.
when I was in Tahoe, yeah, that
You
would
do,
have.
and it's got to go back to the individual county. So there's 58 counties here. I'm
Okay.
planning to fly to all 38. I'm a pilot, so I have a plane that I will be flying myself to all 38 counties where I have clients. Hopefully,
Yeah.
turning those client meetings into town halls
Cool.
and building that ground roots buzz.
I like it.
But anyway, Charlie, thank you so much. I know we have a hard stop, but I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
John, my gosh, man, what a great guest you are. And I'm inspired by your story, not only the move to RIA and following your passion there with crypto and understanding that you needed an independent role, but also, dude, you stepping up to try and do something political in this environment right now. Number one is crazy. But also the flip, but thank you for doing that, right? Because we need some sensible change. And in our brief time of knowing each other, you're a stand-up guy. I'm excited to read the book. And so, yeah, thanks for putting your neck out for that, because that's huge. You're crazy, man, dude.
I have a 4-year-old daughter now, so
Yeah.
got to leave the state better than I found it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So everybody who tuned in today, on behalf of my friend and guest, Jon Henderson, again, Echo 45 Advisors in Walnut Creek, California, a town I know a little bit about. John, thanks for being here, and all our listeners, thanks for taking the time to listen to another episode of RIA Collective.